Hi everybody, Matthew Turns here. Well, if you're like me, you're a fan of Beatles Tone's Beatles channel. He's got a great channel with great content and great sense of humor. I love watching his stuff. He's celebrating 1 year here on YouTube, and as part of his 1 year celebrations, he's having a competition, and he's asked people to talk about their favorite Beatles item in their collection or favorite Beatles memory. I don't really have anything in my collection that I have any, real personal significance for that has a really great story. I mean, the only thing that I've got that might mean a little bit more to me probably is this copy of Hey Jude, which was given to me by a friend when I was first really getting it heavily into the Beatles around 2000, 2001. I was buying all their stuff on CD, but I'd just gotten a turntable, and he gave me this record from his collection. Said, "Here, you can just have this." Like I said, had most of their albums at that point, but not all of them. Had not gotten past Masters 1 and 2 yet, and so when he gave me this was my first chance to hear the song "Rain." So that always sticks out in my mind. And that friend moved off years later. I haven't seen him. I invited him to my wedding, and that's the last time I've had a chance to see him. Almost 15 years ago now. So I always think of him when I pull this record out, but I don't think that's really a great story. My favorite Beatles story in terms of a memory is what I'm going to offer now for my contest entry. And I've told this story before, but never on my own channel. If you watch Mean Mr. Mayo's Fab Gab, I did mention this one time when I was on there. So if you've heard this before, bear with me. But one of my favorite Beatles memories about one of their songs goes back to when I was in high school. And I grew up in a small town in the South, and there's not a lot to do on small towns in the South on the weekend, certainly not back in the 90s when I was in high school. My friends and I were very much like what you see in Wayne's World. We were hard rock and heavy metal guys, and we tried to have no money fun as much as we could back in those days. And what that mainly meant was just on a Friday or Saturday night, you just pile up a few of you in a car and go riding around town, and then see who else was out there, and maybe stop and chat on a street corner somewhere, and then go ride out some more, get a bite to eat, whatever. Just really killing time and hanging out with friends, really. So as we would ride through town, of course, we would listen to music. And like I said, we were kind of like what you see in Wayne's World, and we were the hard rock and heavy metal guys. And so we would listen to a lot of things like Metallica or AC/DC, or I was a big Aerosmith fan at the time, things like that. But another friend of mine and I, we were also big into the 60s music. His dad had really turned me on to Creedence Clearwater Revival and things like that. And anyway, we were riding around one weekend, and with just me and this friend of mine, Doug. And as you may recall, there in the 90s, the Beatles released all their original UK singles on cassette. And there was also the CD box set release. I don't have the cassette single that my friend bought on this occasion, but this is the CD version from the CD box set. I really guess I should get one of those cassettes for my collection. But he had been looking for some CDs or cassettes that day, and for whatever reason, I never really asked him why, but he picked up the cassette single for Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby, and I don't think I'd ever heard. I probably never heard either one of those songs before. If I had, I might have heard Eleanor Rigby. I don't recall hearing Yellow Submarine before that. But anyway, he popped it in and said, "Hey, let's listen to this." And we listened to Yellow Submarine, and I just fell in love with it. I thought it was a great song, and it's such a catchy song. It's easy to start singing along to, and we had so much fun. We were like, "Hey, let's listen to it again." And we rewind the tape and listen to it again, and then we were just sing along to the top of our lungs, and we just kept going back and, "Hey, let's listen to it one more time," and just sing along. And we must have listened to it probably 20 times in a row, or at least it seems like it, just riding around town over and over, singing Yellow Submarine to the top of our lungs. And I always think of that night when I hear that song. I think of my friend. Yellow Submarine is a favorite song of mine for that reason. It reminds me of the fun we had. Just again, no money fun, just riding around in a small town in our car, cranking out Yellow Submarine at high volume and just singing along to the top of our lungs. And I always think of my friend. Haven't had a chance to see him in years either. But he always comes to mind when I hear that song and that night and those memories. So it's the great thing about really any type of music, but for me, particularly Beatles music, is the sort of memories songs can forge, at times in your life and people and friends, like the friend who gave me Hey Jude and the friend who listened to Yellow Submarine with me that night back in high school. I'll always remember those guys when I look at that record or when I hear the song Yellow Submarine, and I love those memories, and that's one of the things I love about the Beatles music is all the great memories of friends that go along with it. So anyway, that's my contest entry for Beatles Tone's Beatles channel. Check them out if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.